Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, which is titled The Introduction to Innophys and Their Product. My name is Christopher Iversen, and I'm from Anybody Technology, and I will be the host of today's webinar. Today I am here with my colleague Björn Keller, who is also an R&D engineer here at Anybody Technology. Today we have an external speaker, who is Mr. Daigo Orihara, the President and CEO of Innophys. And Mr. Daigo Orihara is going to give his presentation in a minute or so. But just before we start, I will give a general introduction to the Anybody modeling system for those of you who are unfamiliar with the software or musculoskeletal modeling in general. But first of all, what is the Anybody modeling system? So the Anybody modeling system is a software that allows you to do musculoskeletal modeling. As input, it takes motion data as kinematics and forces, and it calculates the internal body loads as joint moments, joint reaction forces, and muscle forces. And right here in the bottom of the screen, you can see a screenshot from the Anybody modeling system. So this is how it actually looks. At the moment, Anybody is used in a wide variety of areas and applications. And a few examples of this is movement analysis, product optimization design, the field of sport, orthopedics and rehabilitation, and assistive devices, which we're going to learn more about today. And the typical workflow in Anybody could look something like this. So you provide some kind of motion data as input, and then you use the body models which you or others have built, and then you provide some kind of environment, which could be an exoskeleton. Then you can use Anybody to combine these things and run the inverse dynamics simulations to calculate the internal body loads. You can output the results and use it for post-processing with, for example, some kind of finite element tool, but many users also closes the loop completely by doing some kind of design optimization and then run this cycle multiple times. And this actually brings me to the end of the introduction, and I will hand over the presenter role and word to Mr. Daigo Orihara instead. Hello, so now we are able to see your screen. Can you please go ahead with the presentation?
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry for keep you waiting. We had a minor system problem. Now I think it's fixed. Sorry for taking time. Today, thank you. First of all, thank you very much for having me and giving me the opportunity to introduce my company, our company, and our product. My name is Daigo Orihara, CEO of Innophys. Today, I would like to talk about the three topics. Okay, I'm going to talk about who we are, basically introduction of Innophys, and then I want to go into introduction of our product, then briefly talk about what we are going to do in the future. So Innophys is a originally came from a research of a professor of Tokyo University of Science. We came out from the technology from the professor, and the company was incorporated in 2013, which is 7 years ago from now. And our recent annual sales is about $7 million US, and our capital is about 5 billion yen. And also you can see our major shareholders on the left bottom of the corner. So on the right hand side, we have management, Hiroshi Kobayashi. He's a founder and chief technologist of our company, and he's a professor of Tokyo University of Science. And in middle, Daigo Orihara, which is me, and Takashi Furukawa, chairman of the company. And this is our mission. Our mission is to support independent life as long as you live, which is we as a company develop and launch the product that reduces burden and or help people to work or move easier. So this is our mission, and we are basically following this mission. And our business model is like this. In the middle, there's an Innophys, and on the left-hand side, we have partners. One is Tokyo University of Science. We collaborating research with the university, and then also we received the IP transfer and license from the university. And Innophys basically develops and markets the product and sell the product. And actually in the manufacturing, since we are a fabless company, we don't have factory, so we have manufacturing partners. I'll talk about who our manufacturing partners are later, but this is how our business flows. So I'm going to talk about the history of the company. Our starting point is about 6 years ago from now. So there's a company named Asahi Sun Cream, and the caregivers of the company, the turnover rate was very high because many people had a back pain and they quit the job. So the company, Asahi Sun Cream, basically what they do is they visit house, and then provide the visiting bath service. So we hear their needs and developed our first product and launched the product about 6 years ago. So this is our first step. And since then, we have upgraded the product since the launch of the first model, and basically updated every year, as you can see on the half bottom side of the slide. And then also, in order to grow our business, we have raised a couple of times, capital a couple of times. And last year we raised about 4.3 billion yen. And then also we reached total unit sales of 10,000 units in March of 2020. So this is how we progressed since the launch of the company. And what we are addressing is this. There are, in Japan, the low birth rate and aging population is a very serious current issue in the society. And we are addressing this social issue caused by low birth rate, and aging population. For example, in specifically such as labor shortage and increase in elderly care and healthiness of elderly people. In Japan, the number of hard physical worker is about 24.5 million, and number of people who are certified for long-term care is about 7.3 million, and the number of people aged over 75 or above is 18.4 million. So we are addressing issues for those segments, and I believe what is going happen, what is happening in Japan is going to be happen in other nations as well. Again, Innophys is approaching those issues and developing products. So as I mentioned earlier, we started off from helping workers in visiting bath care. But as we develop next generation, new generation of the product, the usage of the product became wider. And here's the expansion of our application. So we started from the nursing care, but now there are many companies which is using our product. For example, factory and constructions and others such as transportation and warehousing. And plus, recently, the growing segment is farming. In Japan, the farmer's average age is about 67 years old, which is very, very old. But many people still wants to work. People in those farming segments, recently, many of them start using our product. So this is current situation of the company. So now I would like to share with you what we do, which is our product, introduction of our product, and how it works. So here is our product lineups. We basically have two lines of the product. One is lower back support. The other one is arm plus lower back support. The major product line in lower back support, we have two product lines. One is Muscle Suit Every, which is the latest model of our company. And the second one is Muscle Suit Power. So the very difference is that Muscle Suits Every is a standalone product, whereas Muscle Suits Power, it requires air attachment. So basically, it's like active air actuated powered suits. So this is a Muscle Suits Power. And for arm and lower back support, Muscle Suits Upper is also a active type. It requires a power air supply when you use them. I talk more about Muscle Suits Every later. So I briefly talk about Muscle Suits Power and Upper more. Muscle Suits Power, its assist power is about 35 kg, so helps to support your body behind with a maximum of 35 kg. And the weight is about 6.6, and the price is about 900,000 yen. And the Muscle Suits Upper on the right hand side, and it's a powerful one. It supports both arms and back, and it costs about 2 million Japanese yen. Next slide is our latest main product, Muscle Suits Every. We launched this product last November. It's a very, new challenge for our company. Muscle Suits Every is a strategic product, and the price of the product is 136,000, which is very reasonable pricing. And the merits of characteristics of Muscle Suits Every, basically we have three main points. One is quality. It has a very powerful nature. The maximum power is 25.5 of assisting power. And it has a very good usability. One is very lightweight, the weight only 38 kg. I talked about the Muscle Suits Power is 6.6 kg. So compared to that, you can see how light this product is. And also very easy to wear. I'll show you how Muscle Suits Every looks like and how you put in the movie. Next slide. But very easy. Once you get used to, you can put in like 10 seconds. Very simple. And it's water and dust proof. You can use outside, or you can use in the rain. So you can basically use whatever you like. And also eco-friendly. This product is actuated by air. It doesn't require a battery. So you can just pump in the air and it works. And lastly, very reasonable price. Our price is less than 150,000 Japanese yen. So this is pretty new and our challenging and strategic product. So now I want to show you some video of how our product looks like. And basically this is spoken in Japanese, but you can see the subtitle on the bottom. Okay, so here's our product. Sorry. Okay, so here's how our product works. As I mentioned earlier, our product is actuated by muscle, artificial muscle. In the structure-wise, 2 artificial muscles are installed in each side of the back frame, like a A-shape frame. Once you pump in the air, it generates the assisting power. And our product, in February 2020, we certified with the ISO 13482, which is a certification for personal care robots. And also, I want to talk about the comparison between previous model and new model. I mentioned earlier, our new model is launched last November, and until then, we have a previous model, which is called Muscle Suits Edge. So here's the difference. Of course, it looks different, but price is also different. The previous model, it cost about 500,000 yen, so which is about 4,800 US dollar. Now, Muscle Suits Every cost 136, which is about $1,200, I think. And if you look at the assisting power, in terms of the assisting power, it's exactly the same. And look at the weight. Previous one weighed 4.8, but current one is 3.8 kg. And also, we are a fabless company. The factory means the company who makes our product. So in the previous model, we asked Kikuchi Seisakusho to produce, to manufacture the product. And in current one, we asked Ricoh, the copy machine company, to manufacture our company. So basically the cost is 1/3 and the performance is the same, and it became lighter. So what we did was we basically changed the material of the product. The previous model was made from aluminum, but now our current model is using plastic resin, so it makes lighter. And then also we reduced the number of parts significantly. So that also gives us the opportunity to reduce the cost. So this is how we challenged. This is what we challenged, and we made this latest model. And because of this low price and also user-friendly feature, I think our product is very, very unique position of wearable exoskeleton. Our product is a passive one, so we don't use electricity, and it's actuated by air, as you can see on the movie. And we actually sold more than 10,000 units already, commercial basis. So why we could capture that market share? I think there are various reasons, but key points will be that we could address user needs, which they think important. One is safety, and second one is easy to use, and then also reasonable pricing. Our product is sensorless, and it's a passive one, so it doesn't really malfunctions. And artificial muscle supports human body with a very smooth way. When you put in, it's very easy and very easy to use with the strong assisting power. And very simple structure allow us to reduce a manufacturing cost. That is why we could do this very reasonable pricing. So those are the main points that we think is important. And now I want to explain. I want to show you how muscle suits support lower back. Okay. So this is a comparison of compression forces of to the back with and without muscle suit. So when lifting and moving a box without the muscle suit on the left-hand side, as you leaning forward, the compression force increases. I think you can see it on the graph. But with muscle suits on the right-hand side, since the wearable device support lower back compression, then the compression force remains almost flat. So when you actually hold the box, the weight of the box added, so the weight goes up, but still the peak force is much lower with the muscle suit. You can probably see it. There are another tasks we simulated, which is shoveling mud. Okay, shoveling mud. You can see it. When this is also the same, when you're leaning forward, lifting up the mud, the product also reduces the burden. On the left side, without muscle suits, every time try to lift the mud, the compression forces goes up. But with muscle suits, it's kind of a flat. So you can see how different it will be. So this is how muscle suits reduces the burden of the lower back and to help physical stress of the users. Next slide. Actually, I have to apologize. This doesn't have any translation or any subtitle, but I want you to understand the image of how muscle suit functions, or how actual users use product. So this, he's a farmer. He makes potatoes, sweet potatoes actually. And after picking the potatoes, he put the potatoes in the back and load and unload the potatoes, which weigh about 25 kilo. And he has a back pain because of this hard work, loading and unloading many of the bags. And he thought he bought this product because it can be used outside with no battery, actuated by air only. So he decided, and he basically mentioning it pushes your back and maybe reduce the risk of getting a back pain. So basically what he mentions. So probably you can have an idea of how muscle suits is usually used in actual field. Okay, other use cases. This product can be used basically two purposes. One is keeping the forward bent posture, and the other one is lifting and moving heavy materials. So keeping forward bent posture, for example, in farming, harvesting, weeding, thinning, and storing the vegetables at the sorting area, various areas. And in nursing care, changing diapers and bathing assistance. And in factories, can be used in sorting between pallets. And when doing the processing, it helps to keep the posture, which leaning forward. And the other one, for example, foundation work at the consultation sites, etc. And in lifting and moving heavy materials in the farming, like previous movie, like transportation of crops, fertilizers, and baskets, the moving baskets, or loading or unloading the baskets. And in nursing care, transferring from the bed to wheelchair or transferring for bathing. And in the factory scene, loading and unloading raw materials, which is very heavy, and feeding materials into manufacturing equipment, etc. And also shoveling, especially in mud or snow, is also very heavy. So snow and mud, in those scenes, muscles every helps to reduce the burden. Okay, so this is the product, and how our product used, and how our product works. I talked about company and product, and now at last I would like briefly talk about what we will be doing in the future, in the near future. What we are doing is product expansion and global expansion. Now we are planning to cooperate with sales partners in each region, which is shown in the slide. We've already have a couple of partners in Taiwan and Hong Kong, and we also like to go into China, Korea, Europe, and the USA market this year and next year. So this is what we are planning and what we are doing right now. And also, we like to create a new rehabilitation ward. There are, in Japan, there are mismatch between those who need a rehabilitation and those who provide rehabilitation. So upside one is a population pyramid in Japan. It used to be a pyramid, but right now the Japanese population is more like a reverse pyramid structure. So many people are in the rehabilitation, but less people provides rehabilitation. There's a huge gap between that, and it's gonna be more, we think. So we would like to address those mismatch, and then like to solve this issue by our product making and helping new product in this segment. So here's what we are going to do in future. Okay, so this is pretty much I would like to talk today, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much for the presentation. So I would just like to say a few words before we go to the Q&A session. Let's see. So yeah, first of all, I would like to point your attention to our online resources. And if you want to know more about Anybody Technology, you can go and check out our webpage at anybodytech.com. And here you can find special events and dates and a full publication list of everyone who is working or published something with the Anybody modeling system. I would also like to point your attention to anyscript.org. This is our community website for people using Anybody. And here you're able to find the wiki page and the links to the repository sites, and also our forum. So if you need some help from some fellow Anybody users, please go ahead and ask your questions there, and usually people are really helpful with answering these questions. Also, I would like to point your attention to a new webcast we have coming up on November 5th. The title is Occupational Exoskeletons as Advanced Ergonomic Devices and How the Anybody Modeling System Can Be Applied. And the registration link for this will follow shortly on our webpage and also will be sent out on social media and by email. If you have any questions or want to meet up, please feel free to send us an email at sales@anybodytech.com. And if you have created something really interesting with the Anybody modeling system yourself and you would like to share it with the audience or do a future webcast, then please feel free to send me an email at ki@anybodytech.com.